Walk down any modern suburban street at dusk. What do you see? High wooden fences, double-locked front doors, closed garage ports, thick double-paned windows draped in heavy curtains. We look at these structures and we see success. We see safety, privacy, and wealth. We have built our houses to be self-contained kingdoms, where we never have to see or hear another human being if we choose not to. We spent centuries buying privacy, but we didn't realize the exchange rate. We bought privacy. For 99% of human history, the idea of living in a private room, behind a locked door, separated from the community, was unthinkable. It was not a luxury, it was a punishment. It was called exile. Our ancestors lived in open shelters, yurts, longhouses, or simple circular huts. They slept in groups, side by side, warming each other with their body heat. They woke up to the sounds of wood splitting, babies breathing, and elders whispering. To be a human was to be surrounded by the sensory presence of other humans. Today, we go home, lock the door, and sit in a silent box. The only sounds are the hum of the refrigerator and the artificial voices of actors on a screen. We believe our houses protect us, but in reality, they are keeping us lonely. Our brains are fundamentally tribal. For millions of years, human survival was a team sport. If you were alone in the wild, you were dead. You could not hunt, gather, watch for predators, and care for your young at the same time. In the tribe, child rearing was shared. Anthropologists call this cooperative breeding. A mother never raised a child in isolation. A dozen aunts, grandmothers, and siblings held the baby throughout the day. Cooking was shared. The tribe gathered around a single, central fire to roast meat and gather roots. Security was shared. Multiple eyes watched the dark horizon. Because of this, our nervous systems evolved to feel safe only when we are in close proximity to others. When we are alone, our brain's threat detection system, the amygdala, goes on high alert. It releases cortisol and adrenaline, whispering that we are vulnerable, that a predator could attack us in our sleep. This is why chronic loneliness feels like physical pain. It is an evolutionary warning light telling us to get back to the group. But there is no group to go back to. We have designed our cities to separate us. We have built single-family homes that demand each nuclear family operate as an isolated economic unit. We have killed the shared fire and replaced it with individual stoves in individual kitchens behind closed doors. This setup has created a massive social friction. In a traditional tribal setting, social interaction was the default state. You didn't have to plan to see people. You simply stepped out of your shelter, and they were there. If you wanted privacy, you had to walk away into the forest. Today, isolation is the default state. To see a friend, you must coordinate calendars, plan a date weeks in advance, drive across a city, and sit in a crowded restaurant. The barrier to connection has become incredibly high. We have privatized everything. 10 houses on a suburban street have 10 separate lawnmowers, 10 separate washing machines, 10 separate toolboxes, and 10 separate backyards. We buy our own gear so we don't have to borrow from our neighbors. We think we are being independent, but borrowing a tool or sharing a meal was the glue that bound human communities together. When you eliminate dependency, you eliminate relationship. We are left with a modern paradox. We are more connected digitally than ever before, but we are physically completely detached. We sit in our private rooms sending text messages to people miles away, while the person living 10 feet from us across the hallway is a complete stranger. This hyper-individualism is a trap. It promises freedom, but it delivers an empty house. So how do we rebuild the tribe within a modern landscape? We do not need to tear down our houses and build communal huts in the forest. But we must intentionally lower the barriers to connection in our daily lives. We must build micro-tribes. First, start by reclaiming shared utility. Borrow things from your neighbors, even if you can afford to buy them. Ask for a cup of sugar. Lend your ladder. These small acts of mutual dependency create pathways of trust. Second, design spaces of proximity. Invite friends over not for a formal dinner party, but just to sit in the same room while you both read, cook, or work on different projects. Learn to be together in silence. Third, create recurring rituals. A weekly dinner, a monthly bonfire, a simple walk every Tuesday evening. Remove the friction of scheduling by making the interaction a recurring default. We will never throw away our front doors or delete our locks. We need our quiet spaces. But we must learn to leave the gate unlatched sometimes. The tribe is not a place. It is the willingness to be seen. How well do you know your neighbors? Do you have a micro-tribe in your life? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe to reclaim your human baseline. We will see you in the next video.